Cersei a new library.
And the chair of the nursing department is in the studio. Your HU16 News starts right now. Welcome to HU16's Live at 5. I'm Jonathan Bentley.
And I'm Caitlin Parrott. The Cersei Public Library may be changing facilities. A meeting is happening right now to provide an opportunity for residents to ask questions, provide input, and make suggestions about the proposed facility. The new library would be 4 times bigger than the current facility and is estimated to cost the average household a little over $5 a month if the millage increase is passed. The library's architect firm SAP Design expects the library to be opened by March 2019 if all goes as planned.
Earlier today, Harding students had the chance to meet with potential employers. Harding University's Career Services Office hosted a job fair for students involved in STEM fields. The event hosted 11 companies looking for students in fields of medicine, engineering, computers, business, and law. The office hosts similar events for different majors throughout the year.
And a House bill supporting concealed carry is headed to the governor. House Bill 1249 allows gun owners with a concealed carry permit to carry their firearm in many public places, including public college campuses, bars, and the state capitol. Gun owners must have a concealed carry permit and up to 8 hours of active shooter training in order to fulfill the carrying requirements. If Governor Hutchinson signs the bill, it will go into effect September 1st. And a silver alert has been issued for 83-year-old Merrill Miller of McCrory. Miller was last seen at a nursing home on Highway 64 around 7:30 last night. She was wearing a blue shirt, black pants, and a red purse with white trim. If you see Miller, you are asked to contact the McCrory Police Department.
A Boonville man is accused of ramming into his wife's car with young children inside. Authorities say 5 children were inside the car when Floyd Bias rammed the back of his wife's vehicle on US 71 on February 13th. A court document listed the children's ages between 2 and 9. According to the Scott County Circuit Court, Bias was arrested on 6 counts of aggravated assault on a family or household member.
And 2 Benton residents were stabbed early this morning after agreeing to give a stranger a ride. According to Little Rock Police, Harold Johnson and his brother Brandon were stabbed by a man around 3 o'clock this morning. Brandon Johnson was taken to UAMS Medical Center while Harold was taken to Baptist Health Medical Center in Little Rock. The suspect was described as a white male who stands 5'9" and weighs 160 pounds and was wearing a dark blue baseball hat, a dark blue long-sleeve shirt, and blue jeans at the time. An arrest has not been made.
A Little Rock man is headed to prison for raping a minor. Derek Johansson was sentenced to 30 years for sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl on multiple occasions. Johansson has been placed in custody since December 2015 and is a habitual offender, having been convicted 4 other times for various crimes. He was also ordered to register as a sex offender. And a 52-year-old man in Little Rock has been sentenced to 9 years in prison after sexually assaulting a child. Michael Cohen was found guilty by a jury earlier this month on 7 counts of indecent assault and battery on a child under 14 when Cohen was living in Massachusetts. Sources say the assaults occurred from 2008 to 2011, starting when the girl was 6. Prosecutors say the victim is doing well, but the effects of the assaults will stay with her throughout her life. And the family of Susan Cooper, who was registered as missing 6 months ago, is offering a cash reward for anyone who can give them information that will lead to Cooper's body. Authorities began searching for Cooper after her family had not heard from her in several days and saw no activity from her bank account. Cooper's former sister-in-law, Rachel Cooper, has been charged with first-degree murder and is being held in Grant County Detention Center while awaiting trial. Authorities say the investigation into Cooper's assumed death is still ongoing and that more people will likely be charged.
And the Arkansas Supreme Court has rejected an attempt to block the execution of a death row inmate. The attorney of convicted murderer Jason McGehee asked the justices to vacate McGehee's death sentence and send his case back to a lower court. McGehee's attorneys filed the motion 2 weeks before Governor Hutchinson scheduled the 8 executions over a 10-day period in April. Earlier this week, the state announced that it had enough lethal injection drugs to move forward with the executions. And in Washington, some of President Trump's campaign promises are facing uphill battles as he reveals his new budget plan and faces a meeting with the Irish Prime Minister. Scott McLean from CNN has more.
President Trump is putting comments made by his own Supreme Court pick on trial, taking issue with a Democratic senator who revealed his nominee, Neil Gorsuch, was critical of the president's recent attacks on the judicial system.
There's no question that Judge Gorsuch said to me that he found these attacks on the judiciary by the president to be disheartening and demoralizing.
Trump took to Twitter to call out Blumenthal, falsely saying he misrepresented the judge's words, even though a White House-appointed spokesperson for Gorsuch had confirmed the remarks. Blumenthal is standing by his story.
I absolutely accurately stated what Judge Gorsuch said to me, as confirmed by his own spokesman, colleagues who heard the same thing in their private meetings.
Former GOP Senator Kelly Ayotte, who is helping guide the judge in the nominating process, also confirming his remarks. But the president not backing down.
You misrepresented his comments totally.
I asked you what your thoughts were, sir.
His comments were misrepresented.
And the White House even seeming to sidestep the questions in the daily briefing.
The judge was very clear that he was not commenting on any specific matter.
Are you saying that demoralizing and disheartening was not specifically about the president's
No, I think the judge literally made it very clear in his comment. Thank you. You've asked the question now 8 times. The president's going to speak his mind. Where has this outrage been for the last 100 years?
In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes.
And the Arkansas legislature discussed a bathroom bill yesterday. Senate Bill 774 would require people to use restrooms and showers that correspond with the gender on their birth certificate. State Senator Linda Collins-Smith says the intent of her bill is to protect boys and girls using public restrooms. The general manager at Verizon Arena in North Little Rock says the bill could cause acts to pull out of their venue and has the same perception of the North Carolina bathroom bill. There was no action taken on the bill yesterday.
A bill to ban edible marijuana was approved by the House Committee Wednesday. The bill would prohibit edible forms of medical marijuana and allow cities to outlaw dispensaries and cultivation facilities with a vote. A spokesman of Governor Asa Hutchinson stated that the governor supports the bill because he believes that medical marijuana should not be marketed as food or towards children. The bill is heading to the House for further consideration and needs 2/3 vote in both chambers before it can pass. And smokers who applied for a share of a $45 million settlement can expect to receive checks soon. Philip Morris USA was accused of violating the Arkansas Deceptive Trade Practices Act by deliberately misleading Arkansas consumers about the safety of Marlboro Lights and ultralights. The average payout for Arkansas applicants will be $878. Checks must be cashed within 2 months.
And spring break took Harding students all over the world last week. Hundreds of students went on mission trips while others took some time to relax from their studies. HE16's Hunter Hoagland has more.
That's right, guys. Harding students are back in classes this week, and we caught up with just a few of them to see what it was they did this spring break.
I went with a mission team from Harding to Jamaica, and we went to an area right outside of Kingston, which is in the southern part of the island, and we were at the Independent City Church of Christ putting on a VBS for the local kids there.
I went with the engineering department on a mission trip to Panama City, Panama, and we installed an alarm system at the school down there, and then we helped them out and just played with the kids, and it was a lot of fun. It was really great.
Well, I went to a Dallas Mavericks game with my family and saw my favorite player play, Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, so I was actually on campus for spring break. I am student teaching at McRae Elementary, and so I didn't get to go home, but my spring break will be next week.
Me and my roommate went on a little road trip. We started off in Nashville and then went to North Carolina and skied, and then went down to South Carolina and hung out at the beach.
I went on a mission trip and we did VBS with the kids and taught them singing, and we did Devos with them, and we did like painting projects and other activities with them.
I went on a mission trip to Honduras, and we worked with the local feeding center and worked with some of the churches in the area and also built a couple of houses.
Harding had students in 8 countries and 5 states doing mission trips, and the best news of all is everyone made it back safely. In Searcy, Arkansas, I'm Hunter Hoagland, HU16 News.
Coming up, we have the Dean of the College of Nursing here in the studio.
But first, Bo Smith is next with your weather.
Well, with spring around the corner next week, it looks like we're also going to be seeing warm weather come soon as well. I'll have all that for you and more after the break.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Whoa, dude. You thinking what I'm thinking? Yo, I'm gonna cut the gap. Yeah. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. I'm going in. Integrity. Pass it on. Save the date. A message.
Every man, woman, and child. We will not wait any longer. In front of the crowd. Thine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Give it back! They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Welcome back to HU16. 5:13 is the current time, and it looks like we're going to have what seems like an early spring weekend as spring is approaching next week, but the nights will still be cold. Nights is approaching in the 40s and days approaching in the 60s, and we are expecting rain over the next couple of days as well, and possibly next week. I'll have more on that in just a little bit, but right now here in Searcy, the temperature is 45 degrees. Feels like that too. Winds coming from the southeast at 10 miles per hour. Humidity at 50% right now. In today's almanac, the average high normally about 65 degrees, while the average low about 41 degrees. The record high was set in 1982 at 88 degrees, while the record low set in 1937 at 25 degrees. As we go into our country service map right now, what we see is this little rain bubble right here going over Arkansas and just north of us in Missouri. It's going to be bringing in some rain tomorrow from this stationary front that has gone through Arkansas, and it's also going to be bringing in those warmer temperatures as well. And you see this kind of weird curve right here going over the Midwest, and it shows Arkansas right here still in this little blue area, about 50 degrees, but it's going to warm up to about 60 this coming weekend. And you can even see that in our state temperatures right now, though they're still a little low, ranging anywhere between the low 40s to the upper 50s. Right now, Fayetteville at 55 degrees, Jonesboro 42, Little Rock is at 50, Texarkana at 59, almost in that 60-degree range, and Monticello at 52 degrees. For tonight's forecast, what we're looking at is mostly cloudy skies with a low of 45 degrees. Winds coming out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. A small chance of patchy rain, but it's going to be sporadic for the most part. Your humidity going to be up at 70%, and look at that, jumping from the what was the upper 40s today to the upper 60s tomorrow, and it's going to be cloudy. We're also going to be seeing some rain, a 30% chance of rain for the most part. Winds coming out of the south at 5 miles per hour, and that is still going to be warm for the most part as we continue over the next couple of days. It's going to be 68 on Friday and Saturday. Sunday going to be going to 67. However, Monday it's going to jump up into the 70s, so perfect for shorts and for a t-shirt or whatever spring weather you want to wear. And Tuesday, it's going to drop down to the upper 50s, almost going to be in the 60s, so we might not be out of the cool air just yet, so we are expecting rain that day as well. Your low temperature is still going to be pretty chilly for the most part, anywhere between the mid-40s to the low 50s, so just because it's spring does not mean you don't want to get rid of your winter wear just yet. That's all I have here with your weather. Well, let's take it back to the news desk with Caitlin and Jonathan.
Thanks, Bo. Coming up, Aaron Alexander has a look at your sports.
But first, Susan Kell is here to talk about the nursing department. We'll be right back.
This is why you took a second job. Why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. Why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
Ma.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
I never felt all that special. But in the wake of an earthquake, we can all do something. When donating goods, it's hard to know what's needed. So now it's my turn to help. Aid workers can spend me locally, where I can help save lives. Someone is doing better because of me. Together, we made that happen.
Welcome back to HU16. I'm here with Susan Kell, the Dean of the College of Nursing. It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you very much.
Now, recently you've had some graduates that have passed the NCLEX RN. Can you tell us what that test is for these students?
Yes, we had 15 students that graduated in December, and they earned a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree, but that only makes them eligible to sit for a national exam to become registered nurses. And it's a very difficult exam. There are thousands of questions that are possible over every topic that we studied in nursing school, and so to have a 100% pass rate, we're pleased and excited.
Now, is that the first time this has happened for this program?
No, it hasn't. I'm sure it happened in the past, but since I've been dean, the last 4 classes have earned 100% pass rate, so we're exceptionally pleased.
Absolutely. And can you just talk, are there any specific areas that the test usually hits on, or you said it's all lots of possibilities for them?
Yes. Well, I think that one area that's particularly challenging for nursing graduates, of course, would be pharmacology, all the different types of medications that we administer to patients in all kinds of settings. But just there are no knowledge type questions. Each question is a unique situation, and the nurses have to decide what is the first action, what is the best action, what complication might the patient be experiencing. So it's a high level test. It's not simply knowledge.
Absolutely. And now, can you just talk a little bit about the program in general and you know, how it's developed so far?
Sure. This program began, of course, in the 70s. I'm actually a graduate of the program. Many of the faculty are graduates of the program. And so it has a long, rich history of growing and changing in healthcare and nursing, in the nursing profession. But since 2013, we've been blessed with an incredibly excellent a building with excellent facilities and state-of-the-art equipment. So we have all kinds of simulation activities. The faculty work hard to have active learning strategies in the classroom. And then, of course, every semester, for about 200 hours a semester, nursing students go out in hospitals and clinics and community settings and give actual patient care to prepare for their roles.
And with that, you said they go out and get all experience. Can you talk about what the nursing field is like as far as job opportunities right now?
Yes. In my experience in the recent past, well, actually since I begun teaching 15 years ago, any student that wants to find a job before graduation can typically find one. Sometimes people want to wait. They don't know where they're going to live. But typically there are many RN registered nurse openings, and their hospitals are very hospitable, I guess, to new graduates, and they have real robust orientation programs for them to get them onboarded in a safe way to give safe patient care. And so currently our students are already getting jobs. The May students are already getting jobs. I've heard they're getting jobs at Vanderbilt or Baptist, all kinds of different places recently, but they're interviewing all over.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Hopefully they can finish out this semester strong.
Yes, yes, with the Lord's help. We all do.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Well, my pleasure, and thank you for your interest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Aaron Alexander will have a quick look at your sports.
Thanks, Jonathan. It's March, and it's madness. We'll have recaps of today's men's college basketball tournament after the break.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Sir, could you step over here, please? Is there anything you want to tell me?
Like what?
Like maybe you're out to protect the environment?
Give scholarships to kids, fight blindness, help the elderly, feed the hungry, stuff like that.
Well, I only asked because you've got a little lion in you.
See? Right there. Right next to whatever that other thing is.
Welcome back to Live at 5 Sports. I'm Aaron Alexander. The NCAA men's basketball tournament is here. The round of 64 started today without a single upset so far, which is a little disappointing. If any of you are like me, you fill out a bracket and you go through each matchup and trying to decide who will make it through to the big dance. So far, Gonzaga, Virginia, Florida, Butler, Notre Dame, and West Virginia have already punched their tickets to the round of 32. The rest of the first round games will happen tonight and tomorrow with the possibility of a Cinderella team shocking the world. If you remember, Florida Gulf Coast was a big Cinderella story a few years back. Davidson's been a big Cinderella story, and it's always fun to watch the teams that are not necessarily big, but can make the tournament a little bit more interesting. Moving on to some Harding sports, the Lady Bison's tennis team improved their record to 5-3 yesterday. The team defeated Ouachita Baptist 9-0, winning 6 single matches and 3 doubles. The Lady Bison's top pair of Piper Huey and Laura Golubik won their match 8-2 and improved to 9-4 as a duo this season. The Lady Bisons will be back in action tomorrow morning in Springfield, Missouri, as they take on Northwest Missouri State. And there are several local high schools, soccer games going on tonight. The Riverview High School girls and boys will take on Lenoke High School, and the Searcy High boys will face off against Greenbrier. We wish both the teams the best of luck. And that's all I have for sports. Remember, you can always stay up to date with Harding Athletics at hardingsports.com. Let's toss it back to Jonathan and Caitlin.
Thanks, Aaron. An Arkansas teenager made a rare find.
And we'll have one last look at your weather after the break.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
In high school, people described me as bright,
hardworking, and dedicated.
That I had a big heart because I care about people and doing the right things.
Now, everywhere I look, I see an entire community just like that.
Learning more,
doing more, and caring more.
A community of mission, Harding University.
A 14-year-old boy found a 7-carat diamond at Arkansas's Crater of Diamonds State Park. Cleo Langford of Centerton had been in the park for only 30 minutes when he came across a shiny dark brown gem.
Named Superman's Diamond, it's the 7th largest diamond to be found in the park's history. Kalel says he plans to keep the diamond as a souvenir.
What an incredible day for that boy. I cannot imagine
amazing.
doing that.
You think they would sell it too, but I think that's a great souvenir.
Well, Jonathan, it was another chilly day here in Searcy.
Absolutely. Bo, will I get to wear shorts and a t-shirt anytime soon?
Well, Jonathan, if you enjoy 60-degree weather, then by all means, you can wear shorts and a t-shirt. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast where we can see the last little bit of this week and going into next week as we see Friday, Saturday, Sunday going to be in the upper 60s for the most part, and you're also going to be seeing some warm weather starting next week as well. 77 degrees for Monday. But then it drops down to the upper 50s on Tuesday, but we're also expecting some warmer weather for the most part, some rain for the most part for tomorrow and Saturday. But on Saturday morning, it should just rain only in the morning, and then it will be sunny for the rest of the day. Tuesday, though, it'll be a 40% chance of rain, and I think after that, it'll be spring weather for us. Don't you agree, guys?
Sounds like it's going to be. I'm excited for that warm weather to come.
Me too. I think it's going to be amazing for the most part. And it's going to be good for basketball too. And I might watch some more March Madness this weekend.
Yeah, and we actually do have an update for you. Minnesota was actually upset by Middle Tennessee. So we have our first 12 over the 5 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We'll just have to see how the rest of this weekend goes, and hopefully we can see some more.
That's right.
I'm going to have to check my bracket after this newscast.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us for HG16's Live at 5, where community matters.
Stay tuned for a replay of this morning's chapel, and remember, you can always tune in to HG16 on the link at streaming.harding.edu.
Have a great evening.